Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. Good watch. It's on the third floor of Nakano, one of my favorite shops. Amazing vintage watches and parts. Prices here are not for the faint of heart, but you're not going to have to worry about authenticity here, so that's what you're paying for. Case in point, all the way to the right, second from the top, that's a 6,000 USD Daytona bezel. Now, this is where I'd be going when you got to do what you got to do and pay the money to get old parts that you can't get at RSC. Now, if it's something you can get at RSC, they're going to charge a lot, so I would just go to RSC. For example, second from the top, second from the right, number 55, that's a pre-ceramic sea dweller bezel and bezel contraption and insert. And that's going for north of 1,000 USD. And you can just go to RSC for that. And if it's anything like the GMT Master 2, that bezel contraption and the insert is going to be less than 400 or 500 USD. So you're paying a lot here for authentic parts. And if you can go to RSC, that's what you should do. You come here when you can't do that, when it's tritium parts and vintage parts. And so that's why you come to this shop. Mostly Submariner inserts. And this is like a coin collection, but 10 times better. And I feel like the guy who owns and runs this shop regards this as his personal collection. And in a sense, it is. And he has it priced kind of the way you would price your watches if you didn't want to sell. I mean, with my handful of watches, if I were to open a small shop, they would be priced outrageously because I don't want to sell. And I think that's part of it. Of note, in the front, number 55, that's a 5,000 USD Submariner insert. That's a really expensive piece of aluminum, but it's not the most expensive. Pre-ceramic GMT bezel inserts. Is there anything better? I don't think so. I think I like these more than the actual watches themselves. Would that be weird just to collect the inserts only? Forget about the watches. But that anodized aluminum, the way the light hits, the way it fades, the colors you get, there is nothing better. Among these, you'll find the most expensive bezel insert in the shop. And here it is, a Pepsi insert from the second generation GMT, the 1675. Beautiful condition, and that's why this is so expensive. This is 6,300 USD. Now, the Japanese yen is kind of weak right now, so to a Japanese person, this looks like an $8,400 bezel insert. Honorable mention goes to this. For the budget shopper, this is a couple $1,000s cheaper. And it too comes from a second generation GMT. The difference between the two, I couldn't tell you, but the level of knowledge that this gentleman must have is insane. I mean, look at these 4 Submariner inserts. Fat font, middle fat font, semi-fat font. I mean, the knowledge of the minutia of these inserts is something else. All right, let's get personal. Years ago, during a service of my 14060 no-date sub, I stupidly had the bezel insert changed out. I lost my tritium pip in that fat 4, and I've been in pain ever since. And this could rectify that. Now my heart says yes, but my head says, are you insane? I'm really on the fence about this. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to do it. This would heal me. Other times I wake up and I think, man, that is an incredible waste of money. Are you crazy? And I truly don't know what to do. Rolex swag, which I love. Rolex belt, I don't know if I'd be doing that. I don't know if I'm quite that level of fanboy. Hat, yes. Shirt, yes. Wallet, yes. Belt, a little too much. This isn't very expensive, though. It's probably a high-quality belt. 262 USD. Would you sport a Rolex belt? Some wallets for women. On the left, a coronet. Rolex card holder. Could be good for keeping your warranty cards in. Pretty cool Rolex pocket knife. I love pocket knives, but you have to be real careful in Japan because if you carry anything with a 6 centimeter blade or over, you're going to get in trouble if you don't have a reason. So you want to keep it to those real small Swiss Army knives like that fit on your keychain. I'm not sure if this is from Rolex, but it's a mirror to check yourself before you hit the ADs and some bezel insert 10s, much classier than the plastic ones I get from RSC, but you got to be careful because you don't want the inside of these scratching up your bezel inserts, so I'd make sure they're in a plastic bag first. We've seen parts, we've seen swag, we haven't seen actual watches, but check this out. This is a vintage Submariner from 1958, the 5510, and The price on this is 120,000 USD, and it would be even more if it had the original bezel insert with the red triangle. This has a replacement insert from a later no crown guard sub. The 5510 came in two different dial variations, an all gilt printed dial or all gilt except for the white depth rating like this one. I'm not sure if this is the original bracelet, but it's riveted like the original should be, and this watch has certainly been serviced and parts have been changed out, which is unfortunate but not surprising. It's just the way these old watches were dealt with. I wish I'd gotten a little bit better look at the crown because it should, if it's original, say brevet, B-R-E-V-E-T, which means patented in French. And this could be a replacement crown, but if it doesn't say that, yeah, it was replaced during a service or something. A very cool all-blue Tudor Submariner from 1976. This is a birth year watch for me, and it appears to have been issued to somebody in the French Navy, so there could be an inscription on the back. And it's in beautiful condition. I have no idea what parts have or haven't been replaced, but it looks pretty good for a 46-year-old watch. And I don't know if it ever came on the bracelet. It might have been issued on a NATO strap, but really cool piece. I'd love to know what parts are original, what parts aren't. The price on this is 18,500 USD. A watch that would be mind-blowing to see on somebody's wrist in the wild. The very first iteration of the Explorer 2, the 1655. And visually, it's so different from where the Explorer 2 ended up. And this has the Mark II dial with a frogfoot cornet, Mark II bezel, and this is a box and service papers piece. No original papers. I'm sure it would be much more expensive than the 32,000 USD is going for if it had those original papers, but it has been serviced at RSC and it's got the papers to prove it. Another incredible watch, the very first date sub, the 1680, but this in all yellow gold. You can see it's got the RSC service card. It was serviced 2 years ago. The box, the anchor, and it's got a beautiful blue nipple dial with matching patina on the hands and the dial. You've probably noticed that pip by now, so the bezel insert has been changed out. And if it had the original bezel insert, it would be going for even more than the 57,000 USD is going for now. But still, even as is, it's a beautiful piece. But who knows, this place might have an original insert to pair it with, but that'll cost you thousands on top. And our last piece is a fitting one, considering the Milgauss is almost certainly going to be updated this year. This is the late 60s iteration when it got kind of weird. You got that straight red-tipped second hand, and I have no idea if this comes with papers or not, but it seems to be a very clean example with beautiful even tritium, and it's going for just under 30,000 USD. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the comments section. It really helps with the YouTube algorithms. Thanks again. Take care, and I'll see you next time.